Hello. Welcome back to another episode of GTNH. How's everyone doing? Man, it's been. When was the last stream I did? Hang on, I gotta check this. It's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. First off, is when was the last stream? May 15th, and today is June 2nd. That's 3 weeks? Let's just say, yeah, that's about 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks or so. Anyways, yeah, welcome back. If you guys weren't aware since the last episode why I kind of disappeared, it wasn't really just disappearing. It was just I moved out of my old apartment, and I wasn't really able to stream back home because both the internet was kind of unreliable and it was very loud and very toasty in there. So we had like a whole big industrial fan going off in the background. I didn't want that coming out in the video, so I just decided not to stream. Anyway, so since then, a couple of days ago, like 2 days ago actually, I moved to Houston. So I moved back home with my parents, and then I moved to Houston right afterwards, like 2 weeks later, which is where I'm at right now. Um, uh, I'm kind of all over the place right now because yeah, it's been a while since the last stream, so I'm like, I don't know what to talk about, and I don't know where to start. There's just a lot to talk about, honestly. But anyways, yeah, I moved to Houston for a month for training for work, and I already have my apartment in Idaho set. That's gonna happen on July 1st, so I'm gonna disappear again for a week or so. But I will say though that the playthrough itself is looking pretty good. Did you play any? I'm sorry, I need to. What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you mean. Um, Speaking of playing, there was a bunch of stuff I did off camera. I did work up to the point where the Eye of Harmony is at 999, and I have the first one right here. So this is a full 999 Eye of Harmony. So that's pretty much what I did the past 2 weeks when I was back home. I was just working on the Eye of Harmony stuff, making sure that we can get to that point, and yeah, we totally can. So I have this one. This is the OG one. This one is 989. I will be moving it. And this one is going to be used to produce Universium. And that first one, or the second one I have right there, is going to be for Stellar. The what do you call it? Man, it's been a while. Yeah, the Stellar Plasma Mixture. And the next step is just making more Eyes of Harmony. Like right now, I set this up like yesterday, I think. It's still crafting. Of course, the biggest bottleneck, not even a surprise, DTPFs. I will say though that I have this little system that I like to do, which I didn't really do yesterday, but I just come on by, I turn on the convergence, and then just leave it running for a while, and I have this little signal here, pretty loud, but it basically tells me that I'm running low on exotic catalyst, and I do have a big buffer of 2 billion. So this is able to run for a couple hours, and then it starts screaming at me, hey, turn it off. So I just do that every now and then, but I thought I'd mention that. So and just before I get into more of the playthrough, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the room situation. So this isn't an Airbnb, it's a shared space, so I won't be able to be very loud. Not like that really means a difference because I wasn't loud in the first place. But if I speak in a hushed tone, that's pretty much what it is. Pretty nice hosts. They actually have like a piano in the background. It's really nice. They play on it sometimes. And the internet is like my biggest concern right now because it's Wi-Fi. And so far the upload does seem better than my apartment was, but the download isn't. And I don't know how that's gonna affect the stream. So far it's only been like 5 minutes of stream time, and we're looking pretty good. So, which I guess I'm just trying to say that if we have issues, I think I am gonna commit to doing the rest of the playthrough in a Let's Play format. I would love to do streaming, and I would prefer to stream, but this is only if like the internet doesn't agree with me. But so far so good. So far, so good, right? Other things I wanted to talk about. There's just so much stuff. I'm gonna talk about it throughout the episode as it comes up. But um, I guess the biggest other concern right now, is that as soon as I get to Houston, of course, 2 weeks of anticipated severe thunderstorms. So either it's the internet or straight up power goes out. So it's thundering right now, so hopefully the power doesn't go out. But just a fair warning, if I just disappear again, it's a thunderstorm moment. Anyway, so the whole goal for the episode, honestly, I don't even know what. It's been a while since I did anything. Power, we may have to upgrade the power because it's kind of been balancing around 2 times 10 to the 20. And the more Eyes of Harmony I add, the more power it's going to consume. But I think the goal for today is just to set up the second Eye of Harmony. And then I guess just start planning it, because I didn't really have a plan otherwise. The rest of the playthrough, honestly, is just hanging out. And of course, doing some of these side quests. I have a whole bunch of them. And here's another thing too. Actually, Empty really says something. At least your stream right now, what job did you get as like an... Oh, I'm an application engineer. So Too Long Didn't Read, I help set up like protection relays for companies that use a lot of power. That's as simple as I can explain it. I'm only like a month and a half in, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing. I'm still in the training mode. Tomorrow, actually, I have like an advanced electrical safety course. I think that'll be exciting. But it's gonna involve a lot of travel, so it's still a future thing in terms of like streaming. If I'm gonna continue streaming after GTNH, likely not, because I have a real big itch to get back into Let's Play content. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Plus, it's gonna help out because like I'm gonna be traveling a lot, and streaming is not really gonna be feasible. But that's the future. In near future, it's already like a month from now. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the plan for today. I'm just gonna set up the other Eye of Harmony, and I guess kind of just talk about what's next. No, but things are looking pretty good. I had to go through moving to the Airbnb, 6-hour drive, not including the stops. It was at least 7 hours with the stops, because I had to take breaks and whatnot. And then I checked the map from Houston to Idaho. That is a day and 5 hours just driving, not including stops. So I have a real big road trip ahead of me. I have a month. It's actually less than a month to figure that out. But, oh, man. It's going to be a pretty big road trip. Let me copy it from this side. So 8.5 minutes in, it feels actually pretty nice. And I guess while I'm copying this, I already have an idea where I want the other Eyes of Harmony. I'm just gonna put them over here. This whole area over here is gonna spam Eye of Harmony. There was something else I wanted to bring up. Oh yeah, my desk setup. So I did not bring the like my own personal desk. I'm just using whatever desk that the Airbnb supplied. And that's good and bad, because one, I didn't have to move my desk. But it's kind of bad because my clamps, like for my monitor, like especially for my mic, there's a clamp to the side, and this thing is so unreliable because the table is a little thin for the clamp, and I'm pretty sure if I look at it funny, the thing's gonna fall over. So I'm just warning you right now. There's a pretty big non-zero chance that my mic is just gonna fall over throughout an episode. So we'll see how it happens. And also, speaking of the mic, you may have noticed it's a different mic. I went back to the original condenser mic that I had before the Elgato Wave 3. And main reason for that was that I'm just trying to reduce the amount of stuff I have to take whenever I'm moving out. That's pretty much it. With this mic, it's just a plug and play, and I think I'm gonna try that instead. Sorry, I got a little distracted here. Let's move just this. But yeah, we're back to the condenser mic. It's what I've been using for like about a year until I switched to the dynamic mic. And we'll see if it sounds different. I don't know. I feel like it sounded okay. I did a little bit of an audio test before the stream started, and I think it sounds fine. And speaking of the monitor, is that the right place? Hang on, I gotta check again. Speaking of the new desk setup, because the back of the desk isn't very like spacious, I guess, I could not put the clamp on the back for my monitors. Now, what does that mean? My monitors are like shifted to the left because the clamp is on the left side of the desk this time. So I'm not centered on my desk and I'm not comfortable. So you may see me doing stuff like this and like turning my head a little more than usual because of that. Just bear with me. I just have a lot of things to share. I haven't even gotten into my hiking endeavors. I know you guys want to hear about that. I'll get into that in a little bit. I wanted to take a walk today, but of course it started thundering real bad. So I was could not do the whole adventuring things. So this part of Houston I'm in is like there's a lot of parks. And man, I'm so excited. I got the itch. I want to get back into the hiking. Not like I wasn't hiking before. I guess I'll talk about it now that I'm on the tangent. So the past 2 weeks, I did visit one park a weekend. So 2 weeks ago was Lost Maples State Park. And the other one was last weekend. It's actually a couple of days ago, was Seminole Canyons. Both times I forced my little brother to join me. It wasn't really forcing. It was more like, hey, you want to come with? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. And I made him suffer through 6.5 miles the first day and 8.4 miles the second day. So he signed up for it. I told him like, hey, we're going to go kind of hard. We did. It was pretty fun though. Very pretty. But dude, my calluses, my poor calluses, they're building up for sure. Anyways, I still want to keep up with the hiking, so Houston does have a couple state parks nearby. So I'm gonna plan to visit those, and I'll share about them whenever that happens. And this is, of course, if the storms die down, which I kind of hope they do, because I'm trying to, hike. Okay, so this man is going to be strictly for the stellar matter, and I guess we'll go back to the wiki page. Sorry for the flashbang. I always forget that that's a thing. That one, right? How come you're not seeing the screen? What? Why are you not seeing the screen? Display capture. Device not connected or not available. Okay. That one. There it is. Okay, got it. Sorry. That's just how a thing. That's just how it is. A new location. Things are going to break. We know the drill. Anyway, so this first one, I believe, is going to be focused on stellar plasma. Wiki jump scare, right? Sorry for the flashbang. No, but the first one I want stellar plasma because this may, like, I don't want to say solve, but it's really going to help our stellar or our DTPF problem, because like you produce twice as much stuff with like less stellar plasma, something like that. I guess I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is saying that we want a 999 tier 0 overworld and just spam astro arrays whenever we can. And speaking of that, we do have a first astro array. I kind of made it. I don't know what to do with it, but we have one. Man, this thing took forever to craft. But it's funny to think about that it's exactly the same cost as a full 999 Eye of Harmony. It uses the same amount of blocks. I noticed that. So I built one and I was like, wait, it's the same thing. So technically we have 2 extra Eyes of Harmony, and honestly, now that I look back at it, I probably should have just made Eyes of Harmony first. Oops. Oh well. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off program circuit for now. And this one needs to have overworld. Anyways, I haven't even asked anybody, how's everyone doing? It's been a while. I definitely have the itch to get into Let's Play content. I'm just saying it's gonna happen. Plus, like the rest of the pack is just waiting around for the Eye of Harmony and all the quests. So I don't know if it's irresponsible for me to say pack complete by the end of my stay here in Houston, which is the end of the month, the end of June if you're watching from the future. June 2026. Let's go with that. Is that irresponsible? Yeah, probably. But the willingness is there. What was I doing? Man, it's been a while since I really played much GTNH. So this one needs to connect to the main net. In the past, you mentioned you wanted to play a smaller pack. Honestly, yes, I did say that, but I haven't thought about it. I've been kind of so far removed from modded Minecraft in general. I haven't really, I don't know what's out there. Now, one of them is Liminal Industries. I think that's what you call it. Kind of because of the movie that came out. I haven't seen the movie. I just heard that it came out. Backrooms, by the way. So that would be like a related thing. I'm curious if there's any Eye of Harmony experts in here. If I give the Stellar Catalyst, how do I say? I guess I have to understand how the Eye of Harmony works. Or maybe let's go back to the wiki. I didn't get flashbanged. So did I. The lighting in my room or in this room is so dim. So yeah, stuff like this hurts my eyes kind of. So what I'm looking for is if I put a stellar plasma thing, but with an astro array that also consumes stellar plasma, is it a net positive? I don't know. I really don't know. Fuel generators, I'm not gonna think about it. I mean, one way to do it is to just, like plug it in and see what happens. But my main concern is that if I don't use it, it's just gonna consume. Hang on. Where is it? It's gonna consume 1 billion each of hydrogen and helium. Hello, Allie. We're back. But if I gave it an astro array, is it gonna make more than 1 billion? Because I think it uses that much. So I'm looking at this multi-block can perform parallel processing by blah 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 blah. Furthermore, if parallel recipes are run, the recipes consume condensed raw stellar plasma mixture instead. The required amount of fluid to start a recipe is 12.4 divided by that huge number. There's a calculator for this, isn't there? There might be a calculator. Hang on. Oh, wait. Is it the power planner? Hang on. Give me a second. Let me open it up. By the way, we're listening to Mugenics music again. So another thing, while I'm looking for the power planner thing, my monitor setup is so cringe because I already talked about it, right? My center monitor is like, to the left, but my left monitor is so weird. So if I look at the other monitor, I'm like almost like, straight left. It's such a funny setup. Okay, let me put this in the main page and then show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes. Okay. So if I were to give this tier 9, this is going to give me about 789 liters per second. Is that a lot? Probably not. It doesn't sound like a lot. But what happens if I give it an astral array? Input. It only consumes not. Oh, you don't even use that much. So per success. I mean, it looks like it's consuming more. I'm a little confused how this works. Does this mean that it's going to consume more than we give it? Because it boosts the output, right? Hang on, let me see this real quick. I thought it was later than it was since you were streaming. Oh yeah, I kind of decided to stream a little earlier. But like we there's a lot of video evidence, I guess, especially on the Discord, that I'm not very good at keeping my time. So I'm just going to say it now. I would like to stream earlier, but no promises. It depends on whenever I get back from my day. And today I just got back a little earlier because of the rain. So this isn't going to tell me anything. Okay, fine. Get settled and decide. I technically got settled yesterday. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. It's the number of parallels. So if I do 1, it looks like it's going to give us more stellar plasma. That's what I want to see. It could take you 3 years to get settled. We don't. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so based on this sheet, I do want to give it our first astral array. And what happens if I give it 2? Okay, that's actually looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to give the first one we have to this guy, because I want to use stellar plasma to boost our DTPFs so I can make more Eyes of Harmony. Deal? It's a deal. Okay. So, how the heck? I don't know. It's a good question. First of all, before I forget, let's go ahead and put it in a cell.
Is Rubber Band Bro
Is Rubber
set up?
Band Bro set up? Yes, he is. But my audio isn't. I could not hear that. Well, how come I can't hear the alert? Oh, it's because I have. Hang on, it's an OBS setting. I forgot. It has to do with yeah, monitoring device should be on a different device because I took off the interface. Headphones right there. Okay, but yeah, Rubber Band Bro is set up. He's to my right this time. Because I have no space on the left. I swear, I'm going to hit the mic with the ball and the thing is going to fall off. Because I don't trust this mic, this clamp. And it's just a challenge I have to deal with because of the table that I was provided. Which I'm not going to complain, right? It's totally my fault for not checking ahead of time. And maybe like working with the Airbnb host if I can bring my own table. I didn't even think about it until I got here. And I was like, wait, it's kind of tricky. I don't know how many that is. Yeah, it's not very there. Yeah. I'm so scared of moving this table. The thing's gonna fall. Okay. So this, I'm gonna make it the stellar. Yeah, this stuff here. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and bring in everything. There we go. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Ali. That was the first time that the rubber band ball has gotten any food since I moved out of here. So this one, I want this to be only look at the raw stellar plasma mixture because you're going to have an astro array. And it's my understanding, just keep spamming astro arrays until you win. How do I give it astro arrays? I didn't starve the guy. If anything, you're the one starving it because it's the audience that's feeding the rubber band ball, not me. It ain't me, it's you. So how do I give it an astro array? Do I give it to the controller? How do I do this? Do I like shift right click? I give it to an do I not enough? Okay, it looks like yes, I have to give it to this. Oh, okay, he ate it. Yeah, he ate it. Okay, is it stored in? I don't want to break the controller, but like, is it stored in there? Anyways, so I'm gonna leave this as one hatch for now. Yeah, like I'm gonna like fix this little setup here, and then I have to change the. Let me get the original pattern. I forgot how to do this. It's right there. Yeah, thank you. And then put this guy back there. Another thing we need to work on, I may request some advice too, is the Godforge, because it's not just Eye of Harmony spam we have to work on. We have to upgrade this thing to the max to get the mag matter. So that means trying to figure out how to get more Graviton shards. I'm not really sure where we're at right now. I worked on it just a little bit, but not enough to like get anywhere meaningful, I guess. Yeah, we only have 7. I did work on the second ring though. So no, I didn't just cheat that in. I did work on it. Man, this thing was expensive. It took me a whole day to craft it, but we had the second ring. Okay. So this one. Bye-bye. And if I check the... Can't see. The wiki. Oh, back to this thing. So for just one astral array, it's 99,200 stellar plasma. And I guess as I add more astral arrays, I have to update that code. Okay. Or I have to update this number over here. 99,200 is what I'm looking for. No, it needs to be the... this stuff here. $99,200, like that, right? I'm Ive harmoning it. So if I put that right there and then Ive harmoning it, maybe I gotta get one of you. Do that. Maintain 1. Craft 1. Do that. Is it working? Trying to craft. Okay, you ate it. I'll turn it on. Oops, I think it ate too much of it. Yeah, I think it just ate too much. Oops. That's fine. It's only a minute. So this thing is going to like give me so much resources that I don't even know what to do with. Let it run for a couple times. I just want to see how much stuff we get out of it. But that's pretty much what this guy's gonna do. So that's our second Eye of Harmony. Producing stellar what? Stellar plasma mixture. Okay. So next thing I want to do is start. I don't know about it though. Maybe start upgrading the GTPFs to start using stellar catalyst. I think it's just way better. Not passively. I think passively I'm gonna stay with turn this off actually. I'm gonna stick with exotic. But whenever I do on request, maybe just a select few to use the stellar stuff. And I think we do have this guy, stellar catalyst. Yeah, this one does the I can't talk. Stellar catalyst recipes.
Hydration sound check.
It didn't make a noise. I think I just had to restart the OBS. That's fine. I'm drinking microplastics. Oh, and that's the other thing too. Is I set up the QFT to do the eternity loop. It's this guy over here. It's still not 100% reliable because I have to manually craft the chronic singularities. So I'll work on this when it becomes a problem. But like I kind of just manually do this. We have 3 million of this stuff. It's not really a priority right now, but It definitely will be once I start crafting things. I'll go ahead and cancel that. So that blue spray can corresponds to a basically this entire thing. Pretty expensive stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a lot of fluids here. um, that's so much done. That's 1.8 billion already. So I think at this point we want to start looking at singularities, but I'm gonna hit you with just dump everything into storage and deal with it as it causes problems. Are we agreeing there? No comment means yes, we're agreeing there. Two channels. Two? Sure. How did you... Oh, here we go. Hello, Lushka. How did you start transition into AE, making big sales like I am Subnet's strongest warrior? I'll get to your comments. You know that we had a discussion about this last episode or the past couple episodes. So I'll show you my transition to AE. It all started with drawers for bulk storage. It's still connected. I don't like it though. I'm pretty sure it's voiding some things and I don't want it to void. But it's one of those don't touch it because I'm scared. So I did like storage drawers for bulk and then general purpose storage in a bunch of like 64K cells mostly. Yeah, don't look at these guys, the early ones. It's like 1K cells, some of them. So I had this going on for quite a while. Then at some point, eventually, I started doing a storage subnet, but for bulk items as well. So first it was through cells that stored just a ton of items, so big cells. And then eventually I started using infinity chests for all the things that are approaching the billions. But like you can see here that it's already causing problems. Especially with Eye of Harmony producing tons of stuff now. But how it had it working was sticky cards. So it would only go into the subnet. So this one was just a bunch of random stuff filtered. And then I had to filter the cells so that they actually store the correct stuff. But towards the very, very end game, like right now, I just don't want to deal with subnets anymore. So everything is now just dump it in here. If I complain about it, which I will, make a singularity, which can store essentially infinite items. So that's what I do. I just kind of let it process. If that makes sense. So basically any process I have to, like any passive process especially that I will deal with, shove it in a singularity. It's what I would do. It probably would, but I'm also like a good example of like what not to do. I'm okay in admitting that. So I think at your point, you're honestly at the point where you can just use the general purpose. I'm only saying that because that's what I would do if I were to go back and play again. I would just do general purpose. It's just way easier to deal with. That's my opinion, though. Sometimes you will be producing like so many items that you need a designated space. Yeah, I guess it depends. I would say 64K at LUV. It's been a while since I've been at LUV, anyways. Okay, confirmed. We produce more plasma mixture than we consume. That's really all I care about. we also produce white dwarf matter. Not a lot, but we produce it. Oh, you're storing everything. Okay. And no, I didn't really. Okay, so how I stored all the like the I shoved all of the raw ore into its own subnet right here with a bunch of space. It's basically just raw ore, and that's it. Plus a couple of like random things with the ore dictionary filter card over here. And then whatever gets processed gets sent directly to the subnet. The bulk one. That's what we did. Okay. I'm gonna trust that this works. So next thing I want to do is start making the stellar plasma transcendent stellar catalyst, but like level maintain it. And I'm just gonna send it. Like if I wanted to craft batches of 10 million at a time, we can. How long it takes, I have no idea, but I'm not going to concern myself with that. Just go ahead and level maintain it. No, don't make 10 billion at a time. How close are you to Stargate? So, mechanics wise, we're at the end. The Stargate, the Eye of Harmony is basically the last multi-block you're going to have to make. But, like, realistically, it's a lot of waiting. There's still some upgrades we need to do. There's still some unlocks we need to do. Mag Matter, I think, is the next step. And also just building more Eyes of Harmony to get everything they produce, just have it working nonstop. Because right now what I'm doing is like switching to and from the different planets to get the different resources. It will actually. There's a couple of big bottlenecks that I wanted to address. The biggest one being probably circuit ass lines and advanced ass lines. It's circuit crafting. Circuit crafting is the biggest bottleneck. But we didn't really see that because it was crafting overnight. The next bottleneck is DTPFs. I'm going to address that doing with the stock replenisher here. Or with this recipe here. So this is what I'm going to do. Some of the recipes that use a ton of stellar catalyst, go ahead and put them into this one. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. For example, Molten Infinity. Yes, but it's such a non-answer. Hello, demonic. That's essentially what it boils down to. Just throw more machines at it. No, we're not making 18 billion at a time. We'll do just like that, yeah. So if I throw it here and try to make a little bit of infinity, I mean, it's going to take forever because, you know, there's just so much stuff in there. So let me turn on convergence again. So what I would love to do is get to the point where I can have nonstop convergence. That'll speed up a ton of things. But we consume way more than we actually produce. But maybe using stellar catalyst is going to fix that. That's a big maybe, though. Debating if I sleep now or in 10 hours. Sleep now is always the answer. So other fluids that are kind of a problem is... stellar catalyst, 20 million, okay. Shifted superfluid is a high processing one, or like something that we consume so much of it. So do that. Take off you. Put that right there. Now I gotta ask Allie what you're gonna play. Hypogen is another problem child. I think it's pretty much those three. For now, it's Shift to Superfluid, Infinity, and Hypogen. That causes us the most problems. Yeah, that's the important question, is what game. Okay, so Allie, I have a confession to make. My brother, or I don't know what happened, but I somehow convinced my brother to start playing Ark again. The Survival Ascended, and then he invited me and my other brother to play it before I moved out. So I can't escape Ark, in other words. It's actually pretty fun, but my computer is not very good at it, like handling it. My computer is not very strong. It might seem so because there's like a bias people have for streamers that their computers are amazing. That's not true. Mine is kind of like, it's old. It can barely run Arc correctly. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a something, a level emitter, fluid level emitter. Put that right here. I want this one to be for, watch your ears because it might start exploding, but I want this one to be for stellar catalyst. So if it's less than 100 million, we'll do, I guess, 20 million. Let me increase this. Add a 0 to it. There we go. I'm gonna, how much this do I have actually? I have 1.6 million. I'm gonna break this for now. So I want this one to be less than whatever this is. Actually, it's 50 million, right? Yeah, 50. Okay, so right now it is enabled because we have less than 50 million of the stellar catalyst. But that guy's loud, so no, don't put it down yet. Okay. So this guy's been running nonstop since yesterday. It's most of it was because I did not babysit it when running what do you call it? Convergence, because that's usually what I do. I just babysit it. But also the other thing is that for work, I'm no longer working from home. I actually have to visit the office, at least for the month. Once I move up to Idaho, things will change again. But and that only means I'm not really able to babysit as much. The other thing I want to upgrade is the recipes. Actually put the ones for Catalyst into the Godforge. Most of that is to be a little faster, but the main reason is so that I get more graviton shards, just to squeeze a little bit more. But that means I do need to upgrade this right path to get that going. Does it work if I do that? Oh, probably not. Unless I can somehow get that one right. Let me respec you. Then, does that work? Yeah, that works, okay. And then I want 2 shards so I can respec that one. And then get this one. Okay, so I can do the plasma stuff now. I think that worked. I don't even know. There's probably like a min max you can do with the Godforge. Is there something in the wiki actually? Hang on, let me check the wiki real fast. Okay, flashbang. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm not reading all that. um, I'm gonna hit you with figure it out whenever I feel like it off camera. That sounds like an off camera adventure, honestly. Okay, anyways, what I want to do is start moving the plasmas over here while I can, and that'll just help out with a little bit of the recipe. So basically all of these. So for example, helium plasma. Right now I'm making in the fusion reactor. Yes, it's better to, most of the time it's better to just leave it in here, especially because of the power cost, but um, it's both power consumption for graviton shards and it's slightly faster. So I'm going to do that. So helium plasma. It's now just like that. And just to confirm that it actually works. Did you craft instantly or what? Did I? How much are you making? 8 million? Yeah, okay, it worked. Now some of these might not be as fast. I think molten iron is a better option, right? No, just do that. I guess we'll see. Hang on, let me do that and then do that. I'm gonna shoot for at least 1 million for each one. And then double check if it's actually bad. Why do I have 290? Okay. Oh, it's because it's an Eye of Harmony moment. Yeah, okay, it's fast. That's right. It gets produced in the Eye of Harmony, that's why. Calcium plasma. Get out. I think dust, right, is better. Yeah, okay, the dust is better. Okay, I have 300 million of you too. It works pretty quick, actually. Niobium plasma. I think a lot of these are actually being produced by the Eye of Harmony itself. That's why I'm not um, seeing any problems with these. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it all works. And then we'll continue from there. Actually, did I take off the original recipe? No. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, Allie, you and your puzzles. Nickel plasma. No, I'm not saying that I'm going to stream or even record myself playing Ark. I would never. Because boron is just one of those things, right? Okay, I got you. I got you. So it looks like I want to use dust for you. And sulfur plasma. Sulfur dust. So power is still going to be an issue. So I think what I can do maybe now is we need more antimatter stuff for sure. So I'll work on that in a little bit. Okay, I'm just making sure that I didn't forget any of these there. Yeah, get out. Molten zinc. Where's the fun in what? What you talking about? Am I really making 144 at a time? That's funny. The alley can't brain today thing. I totally get it though. That happens to me a lot. Titanium plasma, that's you. I may have found the flow state on putting these plasmas together. Molten americium, that is dust. Bismuth. And funny enough, I tried doing this before, and I think I messed it up. As in, I reverted all of these recipes already once because it kind of broke. So here's hoping that it doesn't break. I'm pretty confident it won't. Molten tin is something that we pump, so we use a fluid. I don't even know if I am pumping it though. That looks, yeah. I think we're fine. Lead plasma, that's you. I know for sure we're pumping the liquid lead. Thorium would be dust, I believe. And then a quadria, we're already making that, and then this is okay. And let me cancel some of these recipes. That definitely broke because I changed the recipes all over the place. Now I'm just gonna cancel everything here. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm just curious if so we already have plenty of the stellar catalyst, right? 81 million already. And how much of that actually is it? So if I make 10 million, how much of this? It's only 300,000. So you're telling me every time the Eye of Harmony processes, which is like every minute, Less than a minute. That's how much it produces. That's enough for 10 minutes. Oh, we're fine. Okay. Okay, how about you? 1.4 billion. Okay, I'm going to put the alarm down. That's very loud. Okay. So, this guy's still a problem. I think it's just because I have a couple of recipes that are in here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, one of the things I wanted to work on is actually more power. So, I think I'm just going to commit to that right now, and that's going to be through you. But it's also like just keeping bigger buffers because I think, yeah, we keep running low on antimatter, and I think it's because it stopped for like 5 seconds or something like that because it ran out of buffer material, which is, I'm not really sure what the buffer is. It's most likely space-time on. It's always space-time. So what other things can I give this? Tachyon-rich fluid. Hey, killer. What's up? Spatially enlarged fluid. I think that's what I want to work on next, actually. Because we can get tachyon-rich fluid through the eternity recipe. So let's passive this one. Because doing this is going to passive us eternity and rich temporal fluid, and then we can use that to get spatially enlarged. Thought you had a 28-hour drive? No, that's the end of the month. So I moved to Houston for training for about a month, and then I'm set to move into my new apartment in Idaho on the 1st of July. So I have like less than a month to mentally prepare myself for that expedition, right? And I think that'll be pretty fun. So no, not yet. Yeah, that's passive eternity. Because right now it's kind of like, not passive. I kind of just leave it there. Okay, so primordial plasma gonna be made like that, or primordial matter. Sorry. Let's level maintain that guy. We're listening to Mugenics music. So, you guys already know I'm a big fan of Mugenics. So a couple days ago, Ridiculon, which is the artists that made the music for Mugenics, they released an album of medleys for each of the songs. So what I really like about Mugenics is the sound design, the music design especially. It's not just like, oh, one region plays one song. It's not like that, no. Every like event in the region has a different variation of the song. So it's one song still, but depending on what you're doing, like what screen you're looking at, the song changes slightly. So it goes from like softer instrumental, and then it can switch to like just the instrumental song, and then the full singing, and then like 8-bit music. It switches a lot. So what they did is that they released an album of all the variations, and I'm just jamming out to it because the music is good. I'm gonna go ahead and level maintain primordial matter as well. Let's do 10 million and hold 1 million just to see what it's gonna do. Okay. Yeah, just to see what it's gonna do. I've always found it funny that the energized test I can't say it, tesseracts, they always break the texture. hmm Okay, so we're passiving liquid primordial matter, right? And then I also need to basically passive chronic singularities, and it's going to be in a plasma arc furnace. And this one I'm going to kind of passive. I'm basically just gonna stock molten eternity so I don't ruin this thing. So let's get a designated plasma arc furnace going. Yes, so yes, this is someone's home, and I rented a room inside their home. They're pretty nice people. There's actually a piano in the living room. I'm not bold enough to ask to play it yet, but I'll try one day. I'll try to bring it up like, hey, I also play piano. They actually have like piano classes throughout the day. So I hear some pretty nice background music sometimes. That's not how you spell plasma. You're doing you. Then tempered arc furnace casings. Make me 100 of you. No, it's pretty chill. Just to reiterate what I said earlier, my desk setup is kind of sus. I went on a whole spiel about it earlier in the episode, but it boils down to like I'm not 100% trustworthy. Like I don't trust my desk right now because it's their desk. It's not mine because I didn't think to add my own desk or to bring it over. So there's a very big chance it's just gonna fall over one day. Not the desk. I mean the mic, because the mic is in a suspicious spot. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. So this is going to be a dedicated arc furnace. How do I switch this to? Right click controller with screwdriver. Oops, wrong button. There you go. So you need a muffler and maintenance hatch. Drink water. I'm looking at the lighting and it's actually pretty moody and I don't mind it. I'm looking at the camera right now. Probably it looks a little better on the glare side because I have a lamp in front of me. Honestly, I was gonna say something that sounds rude, but I didn't mean it to sound rude. I was about to say, ask me when I think about it because I don't know. I haven't thought about it. That's what I did to move out of my apartment. I picked up a U-Haul, but even that was like basically 300 miles. That was a long trip. Now going to Idaho is no joke. I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know how we're gonna do it. I'm a little scared to look up U-Haul prices. You know what? Let's look it up on camera. No, I'm not gonna show you the screen because it's probably gonna type in something I don't want it to type. So if I do pickup location, Houston, drop off, Idaho, or Boise specifically. Um, we'll just do 28, I guess. I don't know. I'm actually very curious about this. He's gonna faint live on camera. No. Oh, it's actually not as bad as I would have thought. $1,500 for a small U-Haul, which is probably all I need because I don't have a lot of stuff. Oh man, I'm gonna have to plan it. That's the wrong screen. There it is. Ouch. Yeah, we'll figure it out. There's also like a. Honestly, that's probably the route we're gonna do. You can always do what my neighbor did when they moved. What? Let's do stalking. Advanced stalking. We're gonna do semi-passive, where I'm gonna passive the eternity, but I'm going to request a something here. They rented a semi-trailer and then they park it in your driveway. You load it up and they transport it for you. Then you just have to drive there. That's an option too. I mean, there's a lot of things to think about. Right now, the main thing to think about is playing some Minecraft. Yeah, there's ways for sure. Another option is just to only take things that fit in my car, which is essentially what I brought with me to the Airbnb. I only brought things that could fit in my car, which wasn't a lot of things. So things like a couch, a bed, just buy them over there. That's another option. That way I don't have to pay that fee. I don't know. There's min max to be had. Or heck, I can even just wrap my mattress on top of my car with like the bungee cords. Hell yeah. That way it's the cheapest option. I know you guys want to see that. I'm trying to think here. Um, you can stop and sleep on top of the car to hell. Oh, I don't have to rent up hotels then. You're so right. The only thing is that my parents are gonna come with me on the road trip, so I can't do that. I don't want them sleeping on top of the car. Now they're getting the best hotels. Man, what was I doing? I forgot. Okay, we're trying to passive this recipe, right? And I'm trying to set up chronic singularities. This one I want to level maintain. I can even passive it actually and just level maintain eternal singularities instead. Because this is literally just space time. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So storage bus right there. Stock replenisher. Stock replenishers has been like our best friend for this playthrough. If you know, you know. Buying new ended up being cheaper than transporting stuff. That's what I was thinking. And maybe it's time to invest in like a premium mattress. I mean, the mattress I had before is already pretty good, but like I mean premium. Like sleeping on a cloud mattress maybe. Spoil myself a little bit, I don't know. I'm so scared. I have to catch myself sometimes because how I type on my keyboard, I sometimes put a little bit too much force and I can see my monitor shaking. Can you guys see it? You guys might be able to see it a little bit. Yeah, you can see it. I'm pretty sure. So if I type too rough on my keyboard, I'm gonna break something. Yeah, I'm so scared of it. My mic, it's so suspicious. If I look at the clamp funny, it's gonna fall. So just don't look at it. No, use use that one. Okay. And then output. You need both output. Ouch. And output bus. Right there. White cable. Just one. And a wireless connector. No, but say no, back to your question earlier about if I thought about any other packs. I'll give it some thought. I have to give it some thought because we are approaching the end of GT&H. I don't know what you're connected to. So you're connected to two more things. You also need power, right? What are you doing? UXV, so you need at least two of you. I'm going to give it two for now. Put them down here. Right there, sure. Okay. So, what do you need? You need to have, we're making chronic singularities. So you need to have molten eternity. I'll just say 1,000,000 for now. Yeah, sure. I'm just going to say 1,000,000. Eternal singularities, 10k. That's not how it works. 10k. And that's pretty much it. So you should be working now. Here it is. Okay. So we're producing chronic. Every time I hear the word chronic, I always think of like some kind of disease. Okay. So now we're not quite passively producing because next step is to level maintain eternal singularities. Which means I may have to upgrade the black hole compressor again because that's more than likely going to cause problems. I'm not going to do that recipe. I guess we'll see. We'll do 10k, make 1k at a time. I've never had to make so many eternal singularities in any playthrough before in my life. How slow or how fast are you? You're pretty slow. 1024. You're already reducing that much power. Okay. So another thing we can do to speed it up is actually just setting up this thing so that it does the parallel stuff correctly. I'm just gonna leave it, honestly. But we may have to speed it up for sure. Or maybe even a dedicated one for... I don't know about that though, because I'm gonna have to reduce this. And I really don't want to. That looks like that's the answer though, is getting the parallels to be acting correctly. So basically modifying the time so that it stays at black hole active at a lower stability for longer, so we get more parallels. That's what I'm thinking. 72. Yeah, I'll come back to that though. Okay. So I'm going to assume that that's done because the main priority is getting this set up. So we have, I know energized tesseracts are already level maintained. This one is technically good to go. Primordial matter is good to go. Okay. So this recipe should be, this is the wrong one. It's, I can't tell. They all look funny. This one. Yeah. Okay. So tachyon rich temporal fluid. That's really the main thing that I wanted to work on. But how good is this? I don't know. So I'm a little confused why this is doing this. 589. Like, why is it that you can craft one? Like, you can craft them between each other. What's the point? Like, this recipe just seems like it makes no sense. Unless this is here, like you make tachyon rich temporal fluid in the QFT like I'm doing right now. And then you turn this into spatially enlarged. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Making a recipe like that, like this recipe here. See how strong is this? I'll just leave it like that for a while. Okay. And then eternity is going to build up over time. It looks like it dropped. That's just because I stored a big buffer in the stock replenisher. I'm just going to go ahead and count that as good to go. So right now, okay, my main concern right now is more power, I think. Because I would love to spam more multi-blocks, but power is going to be a problem still. Yeah, we're drawing just a little bit too much. So, copy paste. I'm going to copy paste this guy back here. Oh, I didn't do it enough. Right there. Okay. Plan. Highly likely this won't finish today. What's needed here? I guess we can see our bottlenecks here if I really wanted to pay attention to it. Actually, not too bad. Abyssal alloy is hella slow. Curious if there's a way to make this a little faster. So that reminds me, I have been looking at like the 2.9 news because they're modifying a lot of the multi blocks, and I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna update to 2.9 when it comes out. We're too far in the pack. I think that updating the pack and like breaking everything, I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm not going to. Here's a bottleneck. Component ass lines. So I think I doubled it since the last time we saw each other. So I'm about to double it again. Let's double it again. I'm gonna cancel you. Mark copy. Yeah, mark copy. We're doubling it again. Copy from you. So it's just addressing bottlenecks. So right now the component ass line's being a little acting a fool. Clear manual plans, plan all manual. Go ahead and just do it. And that'll finish at some point. So probably what I'm gonna plan on doing is just adding like a whole bunch of them until I stop complaining. But then is the other problem like, oh, you're gonna consume too much fluid. But what I would love to do is upgrade it to change to a different fluid type, which is what the whole reason of Tachyon Rich. I don't know how much this is gonna consume. I'll check the wiki to see if that's gonna be enough, or if I need to increase it even more. And then another thing we can look at actually is a depleted Mark 6. Actually, how bad is this one? I'm looking for Mark 6, right? Because you can also use this in the SAS. I mean, it's just Shirobon. Let's try it. Let's just make recipes for it. And see how long that's going to take to actually craft. So we already have tier 4 coils, so I'm going to do that. Let's do that. And plus, another motivator, we are consuming the plasma mixture. We're producing it just fine. I'm fueling it. Spray can, I don't remember. I think I broke something. That's a dummy recipe. Don't worry about it. I was working on something. I don't even know. I think what happened was that I accidentally broke the Godforge. So I was scrambling around trying to fix everything because without the Godforge, there's no blast furnace recipes, and that's like literally everything. So I broke something. That's been a while though. Don't worry about it. So if I try to make 10K, we can already do it. Okay. And then let's deplete it in the neutron activator. Right? I think it's the same neutron activator. Let me check here. So right now its threshold is 1.060, so not quite. Because this one needs to be between 75 and 100. And this one needs to be 50 and 100. So I just have to increase this by just a little bit. So make this 90. How about like that? I think that's what I want to see. It needs a little bit of time to charge up, so I'm gonna just put the recipe there. Right there, okay. and then maybe level maintaining it, but I'm going to wait until that thing charges up so I can see it actually work. Why is that on fire? It was Firestone, I remember. Okay. How's the singularity doing? I'll probably work on this off camera. So what else can I do right away? I think right now is more component ass lines. And then we see another bottleneck is circuit ass lines. Optical processors is circuit ass lines, right? Yeah, that's not a difficult fix. Do you have mosquitoes in Texas? Absolutely. And they're atrocious. I hate them. So if I'm going to mass produce circuits, I'm honestly considering changing how I do this again. Because this still isn't very mass production friendly. So I'm thinking of actually just making dedicated circuit ass lines. So I don't have to deal with as many wireless connectors. Because every time I set a group up, I have to connect everything, go back and forth. I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. Oh yeah, mosquitoes are rough. I don't know what it is, but I attract mosquitoes like crazy and I hate it. Tell you what, yeah, that's I'm just gonna copy this. Which one is the one with optical processors? We have a little bit of time left, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna copy you. I'll copy one group. Or maybe not even a group. Let's just, to make it even more spam friendly, let's not do a group. Let's just do one. Just one ass line. Right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's just do one ass line. I think it's like up to. I'm just gonna build it somewhere, honestly. I'm just gonna build it. Where am I gonna spam? No idea. Let's just build it here. So I'm looking for optical processors. Optical processors, circuit imprints. Let's make one of you. Thank you. And then it's like 6, right? And the glass 23. Do I remember it correctly? Yes. I'm surprised we actually had enough stuff to do that. So this is what I mean by spammable. I'm going to use regular stocking buses, just regular ones. And then like just set the filter so that it only does one recipe. I think that's just the easiest way to just spam the heck out of this. Because yes, it's a lot more efficient to do it this way, where I send all of the items into this storage bus and then they pull with the stocking input bus. But nah, it's not very spammable. And I need something that I can spam like crazy. And I think this is it that I can think of, at least. If anyone has ideas, then I guess you can let me know. And you also need a stocking This one can be an advanced, and you just pull. Because you're only going to have one flute at a time anyways. Yeah, because this way I don't have to have individual storage for every single input. I just have to tell it, hey, you're only going to accept one input, and that's it. And that's pretty much how these circuit ass lines work anyway, so I guess more reason to do it like that. Wait, so Killer, you're seeing mosquitoes up north? I didn't know they existed up there. Is that where I put the energy hatch? Yeah. And the maintenance hatch would go on the bottom row. I mean, actually, you're right. Yeah, they are literally everywhere, except Antarctica, right? We should not just move to the Antarctic so that we don't have to deal with mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are one of those few animals that like serve no purpose other than to just bother us. They go to sleep. One, 2, 3. So you're saying, let's go to Arizona. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is another reason to do it like this. This has 8 channels. So I'm trying to do as minimal spam as possible. So if I put like a single wireless hatch or wireless connector right there, and then tell A, like all of these, I have to move you, to connect to any side. Would make this blue for a subnet. And then I have to like individually filter all of them, but that's my whole idea. Now the other weird thing to consider is that how am I going to push everything out of the storage? That's a good question. I don't think it's going to be that complicated. I just need to make a whole controller, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the neutronium controller. Me and my homies, we don't like mosquitoes. All my homies dislike mosquitoes. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Don't even get me started on Houston, because man, it's so swamp ass out here. My neighbor says you get used to them. I bet you your neighbor's covered in like malaria or whatever they give. Yeah, so here's the other issue. If I keep telling this to make eternity nonstop, then it's gonna keep making eternity nonstop. But it is steadily increasing, so that tells me that it's gonna stop at some point. But it's still very slow if I need this in the tens of millions, right? So maybe I do want to get this with more parallels, maybe. Man, but doing that is annoying because then I have to change this number, right? I think it was right click, okay. Let me look at the black hole compressor here. Ask your neighbor if he has dengue fever. Or dengue, whatever you call it. 50-50, yes. $20. Okay, so we want to keep the parallels, or we want to keep it below 20. So, increase it by 90? Not too much. Let me see this. Okay, so like right now, I'm gonna try 90 to see what it does. And then this one, I want to increase the counter by like make it 200 so it stays there a lot longer. Just the noise they make is enough to like, sorry for the foul language, piss me off. Where's my printer? It's right there, sorry. You're getting me heated up talking about mosquitoes killer. How dare you? Bzzz. Get out of my ears. Okay, so I just changed the timings. I'm gonna destroy everything and then just put it down. We'll see what happens. Reset it. That's why whenever on my hiking trips, I always take bug spray with me. I don't like putting it on because, you know, it makes it a little stinky, right? But yeah, it already broke. Yeah. It's gonna break. It's gonna take a couple of cycles to adjust itself. We'll get out of here. It's unstable. Oops. I don't really know how to fix this thing from going unstable. I kind of just let it reset itself. Maybe I just have to break the thing and then start from scratch, right? You don't have any controllers, right? Yeah. Bro, there's nothing in there. Hang on. Mm-hmm. It's probably because it had one of these guys in there by accident. Black hole seed. Yeah, get out of there. Okay. I'm gonna break you. Do that. Black hole offline. I'm trying to get this started from scratch. So right now the system is completely empty, right? Nothing's in there. And then I put the gate. Okay. We'll see what happens. Let it run for a little bit. Nah, but getting stung by a mosquito ruins my day. So whenever I go on a hike, let me drink water first, actually. I always take bug spray with me. I never like putting it on because it makes me stinky. But if I get stung by one mosquito, I give them just one chance. If I get stung by a single one, I cover myself in spray. I'm not dealing with that. And then my mood's ruined for the rest of the trip. It may look like we're just staring at the black hole containment field, and that's because we are. No, I just want to make sure the timing works. Because the whole idea is that I want the black hole, whatever. Yeah, I want it to be the parallels below 20. You want it to be below 20 stability. So right now it should be good to go, but I want to make sure that it actually works with the laser. Yeah, so right now it's at 10%. Let me restart all the recipe because they all broke. Okay, so what happens here? Because I think it's going to stay like this for a little while longer. And not use too much space time, but I can always increase that timer as well. And now it's making 500 every 20 seconds. That's good. I just want to see it reset. Like what happens when the timer resets. Mm-hmm. How much time did I add to this? I don't remember. I like the little space-time lasers. You can see it on my screen. It is working, right? I think it's like 200 seconds or something like that. It is going to reset, right? Okay, it threw a collapser in there. Okay, so that's part of the problem. If a recipe is running, then it throws the whole system out of whack. So I need to have extra logic to account for that. And I think I just need to keep the space-time running until after the recipe finishes. So I guess we're back to the drawing board. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out in like 12 minutes. So I need to make sure if a recipe is running, to keep this time. So the blue signal is the reset timer, right? This was the one that sends the, basically resets the entire thing. So, oh man, it's gonna look a little weird. I can do this. I just need to change certain colors here. Let me go ahead and erase you. It does work. I just need to make sure that the signal doesn't stop whenever I'm actively running something. And we have a bunch of stuff over here. So it'll be an activity detector. I can put that on top here. Quick, someone give me a random number for the frequency for this thing. Machine idle. No, if the machine is actually working. 1984. That's a sus number, isn't it? too late. No, 1984 wins. That's a book, right? I haven't read the book. That's all I know about it. Ball knower, by the way. 20. Okay, it's not taken. I can use it. Okay, so I want this to be machine idle. And the idea here is if I detect a machine idle signal, and I'll get it from where am I getting this signal from? The only place I can get it is from the top, so I'm gonna have to do the top. All right, and that signal is going to be Lime. Simple IO, bundled IO, which put it over here, sure. This is input. Come on, input Lime, like that. Okay. So this color, I want this to be a different color. Do yellow. And basically some extra logic here. That if yellow activates, that means the counter activated. That means, hey, time is up. Start getting ready to reset yourself. All right. Don't reset it if this is on. That makes sense. So I think that's just an AND gate, right? Try that. So right there. This is totally just practice for my work, by the way, because I have to do a lot of logic. There's a lot of like relays I have to configure to make sure, you know, like power is okay. Like, oh, if there's power missing somewhere, it's got to toggle switches all over the place. And it's a lot of logic design, so I'm just getting practice doing this. So yellow signal or lime signal corresponds to, hey, there's a recipe running right now. Frog in my throat, sorry. So that's lime. I need to drink water. So lime is, hey, there's a recipe running right now. Yellow is, get ready to reset everything. So if both of those conditions are true, actually, I think I want to set this. I want this to be no recipe running. So machine idle. Normal, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so if no recipe is running and I'm ready to reset, then go ahead and reset. And that's the blue wire that we had before. Am I just gonna send it? Let's just send it, see what happens. Okay. All right, have a good night, Killer. Thanks for joining. I'm about to wrap up as well. It's almost time for this episode. I just want to finish my thoughts for the night, but yeah, have a good night. Okay, so to reset this thing, I just need to pause it. Right, we pause. And then is yellow a pulse or continuous signal? Yellow is, I believe, a continuous. It's a counter. So when it reaches the top counter, it's a steady signal. This top signal tells the whole system like, hey, time is up. This counter has reached its limit, which is 200 seconds. But I make it a pulse. Before I was just instantly resetting it, but now I'm not doing that anymore. It has to go through this extra logic here. It's basically just waiting for the the machine to be idle. No, let me think about it next. It's gonna, yeah. I think it's fine actually. I'm trying. I can't really think of any other potential problems. There's probably a lot of problems. We'll see. So you need to be another bundled cable. Right there. Break you. You need to be a pink cable like that. And then I need a yellow cable sticking out of here. It's insulated, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So it's going to keep causing problems if I don't fix that. So go ahead and break you. Honestly, I'm just going to trust that it works. That's essentially resetting everything. Throw a black hole collapser in there to actually, restart the thing. Go to break you. Give me you. Give me you. And then frame box. Just give me any frame box. Adamantium, yeah, sure. You're totally right. I was just making sure you guys were paying attention. Redstone receiver. You pass the test. Redstone advanced, redstone receiver external, that one. There. I don't even know if it connects. I never trust it, so I always add a alloy wire just in case. And then you are 1984. Okay. Does this work? I hope it does. Remember, we've seen it where redstone signals can be a little buggy sometimes. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to reset it just in case. Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Why is that powered? I'm telling you that it every time I replace this thing, it breaks everything. Let me try replacing it. It's not supposed to be powered. Unless machine idle, I don't understand what it's doing. Maybe it's trying to do something and then it's no longer machine idle. Let me try with a fresh one. A non-wired one, or non-wireless one. Oops. Okay, so machine idle. Oh no, that's what I want, right? It is idle. Okay, never mind. That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Wireless activity detected cover. Now it probably broke because I no, okay, it's fine. Yeah, that's what I want. So if that's powered, that means it's idle. So basically that extra AND gate that I added in there is basically mimicking yes. So if I want to reset and it's idle, then go ahead and actually reset. There's still like a very small chance that it like the time it takes between something going in there and the multi-block responding and this logic happening that it breaks, but I'm just gonna trust that it works. Okay, let's just try it. I'm just curious what this is gonna do. It's a compressor, right? Yeah. Okay, so just to make sure it's working correctly, it's processing, so the signal should be off. That's a good sign. How many times have I worked on this thing? And once it goes down to 10%, I can probably increase it just in case. But once it goes to 10%, it's going to basically just keep the space-time going. Until there's nothing in there. At least that's what I'm hoping. Okay, I'm going to leave this for a little bit. Let's go check on this. That should be enough. Let me make some depleted Mark IV fuel. And do I have any waste in storage? I do. I'm curious if I'm producing waste by accident by not giving enough power to that thing. Okay. 10? 10% is good. The thing is, there's not really a visual indicator that that the yellow counter is actually working unless I just add it right here. I could, but I'm not going to. So right there, it's idle, right? So that should have told this thing to reset. But it's still waiting for the space time or for like the whole circuit to finish countdown. Which is like an extra 100 seconds, I think. So right now, if the counter were to finish, it's not going to change because this is not letting it until the recipe finishes. So I imagine that it's waiting for the recipe to finish. And then I guess we'll see it turn off. You probably didn't have enough time yet. Hello? Yeah, I need a visual indicator when the yellow signal. Okay, I saw it. You saw it, right? No, okay. It still didn't. It didn't work. It's still trying to craft it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna debug this off camera because we're kind of running out of time. But yeah, there's some timing. It's always a timing issue. I'm not sure what it could be. I'm also a little fried right now because it's been such a long day today. Um, so I can't really 100% think. I probably messed this up somewhere, but I'll think about this a little bit off camera, and I'll see if I can find a solution. But I guess for now we're gonna lose a little bit of product. Yeah, I'll try to figure this out. Also, let me check if this is working. Did it not work? Why aren't you working? Why is it not working? Oh, it's because you're waiting for 10. Okay, you're still waiting. All right, never mind. That should be fine. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap up for tonight. I try to figure out what's going on with whatever that is. But yeah, welcome back to the stream. I know it's been a couple of days since the last one. We're actually approaching 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, but it's been a little hectic with the whole moving out of my apartment and then moving temporarily in Houston and then moving out again within a month. So bear with me for this complicated move around stuff, right? But just bear with me. Anyways, I'm not entirely sure my stream schedule. I think it's just going to be as I feel like it. If there's something that I really need to work on, which of course there is, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff, but I'll think about it. If I do decide to take walks throughout the week, then I probably won't stream because I like to take my walks and then I get really tired. Anyways, for now, have a good night. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. No, I won't stream all the time. I have a job now. I would love to, but no. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys. See you guys later. Bye bye. Terraria win.